Hello, everybody, and welcome to day 10 of the 12 AI Tools of Christmas for 2023 from Evolve EdTech. My name is Tristan, and it is so wonderful to have you with us again for another fantastic session today. Today, we're going to have a look at another amazing AI assistant that might be of benefit to you in the classroom. All right, in today's episode of the 12 AI Tools of Christmas, we're going to have a look at another AI-powered tool, but this time we're going to have a look at a tool called Claude. We're going to go and explore Claude and show you what Claude can do and how it might be a tool that can assist you with your preparation and creating those wonderful resources that you develop for your students. So let's dive in and explore Claude. Before we get into exploring Claude too much today, I would just like to remind you, we would love it if you would connect with us here at Evolve EdTech. Don't forget to head over to our website and check out our whole suite of resources, including videos, podcasts, and coming soon, a range of courses and workshops to help you with your EdTech journey and adventures. You can also connect with us on our socials. We are active on Facebook, Instagram, X. And don't forget, if you haven't done so already, we'd love it if you would subscribe to our YouTube channel, because subscribing to our YouTube channel continues to motivate us and inspire us to help you with your EdTech adventures. All right, as I mentioned earlier, today we're looking at another AI-powered assistant called Claude. So Claude is another fantastic tool similar to ChatGPT and Bard that you can use in your classroom. The reason why I've decided to highlight another alternative AI assistant is just to show you that not all AI powered assistants are created equal, and just to show you some different options if you'd like to go away from the mainstream, which seems to be ChatGPT, and have a look at how you can generate different responses to different prompts using those different AI powered assistants that are available out there in the marketplace at the moment. Well, I think it's time to head over and start exploring Claude. So today we're going to look at how you could use Claude, and we're actually going to do a little bit of an experiment. We are also going to explore and compare how one prompt can generate different responses in Claude, ChatGPT, and Bard. So we're going to go and explore how it's really important that you have a look at all of these different AI assistants so that you can get the right responses to your prompts. So we're going to go and explore that today when we are exploring Claude. So to access Claude, all you're going to do is head over to claude.ai. Really simple. Type that into your address bar or your Omnibox, and you are going to be bang there, ready to use Claude. And I do just want to remind you that this is not a full-blown tutorial on how to use Claude or to get the most out of Claude. Today, I'm just introducing you to Claude, and it's up to you to decide if it's something that might be right for you to investigate. But as I mentioned all the time, I encourage you to go and try and see what these different tools have to offer before deciding whether or not it is something that is for your teacher toolkit. So let's head over to claude.ai and start exploring this wonderful AI assistant, just like ChatGPT and Bard. All right, I've headed over to claude.ai/login. All right, this is where you're going to head to talk to Claude and start interacting with Claude. You will see here it's a very simple, nice, clean homepage where we have the option to sign in with email or continue with Google. Now, it does state here that Claude.ai is currently in open beta, and usage of the platform may be limited for unpaid users. So just like the early days of ChatGPT, all right, just be aware that sometimes you may not be able to access Claude if you are not a paid subscriber, all right? But just be aware of that, okay? So what we'll do now is we'll go over and we'll head and log into Claude so that we can start exploring the output and responses to some of the prompts. So I'm going to continue with Google. I'm going to log in with my Evolve EdTech account, and I'll be back in one moment. Okay, so I am in Claude now, and you can see here that I have been experimenting with Claude with a couple of simple prompts here a couple of days ago, just to see what it is like. Now, I think it's a really cool tool, and it might be really beneficial for you to use and try, okay? Now, the login process to Claude was a little bit different to anything that I have explored before. in the fact that it actually did require a mobile phone number, and they did actually send me a code, which I had to include in that sign up process. So it is a little bit different to other sign up processes that I have seen before. So just be aware of that if you are looking to use Claude yourself. As you can see here, it is a very simple user interface. All right, we have the ability to start our first message and chat with Claude. All right, so let's go and explore some prompts now and have a look at what we will receive, or some of those responses that we can achieve when we are using Claude. So I'm going to go and use some prompts that I used for our videos on ChatGPT and Bard earlier in this series, just so that we can see some of those similarities and differences between these different AI assistants. So I'm going to go here. The first one I'm going to do is we're going to get and see what Claude provides us with is generate a list of 10 quick quiz questions to assess your students' understanding of the concept of area in mathematics. So let's see what Claude provides us with that particular prompt. Okay, this is fairly simple and fairly similar to what we saw in ChatGPT and Bard. Okay, really simple. All right, those questions are quite easy to understand. I'm actually really impressed that we have the metric unit here. So we've got kilometers as our measurement, obviously, but I am based in Australia, so that is something that is really helpful here in Australia. I'm just going to add here, just to see what else Claude can do. I'm just going to add, please provide the answers for the above questions. Let's see what we get here in terms of this. So please provide the answers. There we go. Nice and simple. What we can see here is Claude is generating responses that are very similar to the responses that we would expect to achieve and receive if we were using ChatGPT or Bard. So it's nice to see that Claude is also very similar in terms of the output to the prompts. So let's head back to our menu and let's try another prompt, another one of those prompts that we used earlier in this season. So I'm going to go here. Let's choose this one here. So let's say that you are a literacy coach for your colleagues. Okay, we're going to generate a list of 15 literacy activities that teachers could use with their students in the classroom. So we have a list being generated here by Claude. All right, it is also providing a little bit of an overview of what you could do with that particular activity, which is fantastic. All right, it's still generating just there, okay? But to me, these look very, very similar to those kind of responses that we would expect to receive in ChatGPT or Bard. So you can see here that if you're looking to use a different service and not stick around with one of those necessary mainstream services like ChatGPT or Bard, Claude might be something that you might like to investigate. It seems to be providing responses that are very similar. All right, they are very easy to understand, which is one of those goals, and it's part of Claude's mission to make AI accessible for people. They want to make sure that it is a tool that people can use, they can understand, and they can access. As I mentioned earlier, what I want to look at today, and I want to experiment with you, is how we can use the same prompt in these three amazing AI assistants. And I'd like us to compare our output and the response that we receive to these prompts. So I've got two prompts that we're going to look at today. The first one here is you are a high school teacher. You are looking for ways to engage your students at the start of your lessons. Generate a list of 10 lesson starter activities that you could use with your students at the start of the lesson to hook them in. So I'm going to copy that and we're going to head over to Claude first and see what we get, what response is generated for that particular prompt. So we're going to compare these three amazing tools to see just exactly what they share with us. So here we go. Whilst we wait, I'm going to go and pop that one into ChatGPT. And we may as well do the same thing with Bard. So let's go and have a look and see how similar or different these three AI assistants will be for us. So here we have, and I'm just going to copy that, and we're going to pop that into this document here. So it's just easier for us to see. So let's pop that in there. Again, just like Claude's mission, they look really simple. So they've got a very clear heading, a little description there. All right, nice and simple. Let's have a look at ChatGPT. All right, okay, let's copy those as well. Okay, question of the day, mind map warm up. Again, we've got a clear description there of what the activity is. We've got an overview, which makes sense. All right, looking good so far. All right, let's pop that into there as well. And our final one is Bard. Let's have a look here. Okay, all right. Let's also copy that and pop that into our document here. So let's have a look there. So we've got some different ones with Claude, think, pair, share, roundtable discussion, photo analysis, content quiz, real world connection, brain puzzle, group challenge, 1 minute essay, guess the term, true or false. Really great lesson starter activities to start off a lesson. We've got some similar ones with ChatGPT here, question of the day, mind maps, quick discussions, image or object analysis, 2 minute ride. All right, so they actually have produced some fairly similar responses. You can see here that they've all provided us with a little bit of an overview of each of those activities, which will make it really easier if you'd like to use that, or you'd like to use that little description in your lesson plan to help ensure that yourself and maybe your co-teachers understand what is required of that activity. So straight away, this first prompt here, all three of those AI assistants have produced a very similar set of responses to that prompt, which is really great to see. So you can see here that even though they've all produced something different, you've actually got, in our case, almost 30 different examples of some lesson starter activities that you could use with your students straight away just by popping the same prompt into these three different AI assistant. All right, let's go and have a look at another prompt now. And this is a prompt that I have just whipped up myself, and it is, you are a primary school teacher. Generate a list of 10 quick quiz mental maths questions that you could use with your students at the start of your maths session. A great way to get your students in the mindset and also just to get them thinking about those mental maths computation skills that they will need to use in order to be successful. So we're going to go and do the same thing. We're going to head to Claude, ChatGPT, and Bard, and we're going to see what the questions are like in all three of these different AI assistants. So let's head to Claude first. We'll pop it into Claude. Let's head to ChatGPT. Just make sure that you do start a new chat with all of these services every time you are generating new prompts, because you don't want the previous prompts to interfere with what the AI supplies you. So here we go. All right. Our response from Claude here, they are very simple, which is fine because we didn't ask it for anything really over the top or special. We just wanted 10 mental maths questions. All right, let's go and have a look at ChatGPT. Whoops, that's not the right one. Let's click on that one. And let's have a look what Bard gives us here. Okay, let's just copy those and pop those into our document here. Okay, do you know what? This is really intriguing because we've got Claude that's provided us with some really simple, very clear maths mental questions here. ChatGPT has done something very similar. We've got some similar ones there. We've got a couple of little scenario type questions there for our students to use their mental computation skills. But what really intrigues me is here with Bard, we've actually been really specific with what skills are required by our students. So it's actually telling us that this question is an addition question, subtraction, multiplication, etc. which is really interesting and really, really, really helpful. But what I'm finding really intriguing with these three is that just here we have potentially three different sets of maths mental quiz questions that we could use with our students. We've got a range of resources here that we can use with our students to set them up for success and also get them using that knowledge and understanding at the beginning of their lessons. So even though we have three very different AI assistants here, they are all producing results which are really useful and beneficial for you as a teacher in the classroom. So if you're looking, as I've mentioned, for something else other than that generic chat GPT, Claude might be that tool that you are looking for. At the moment, just from this very simple, very basic look at Claude, it is providing us with some really good responses to those prompts that we are inputting into this particular tool here. As I mentioned, when we did log into Claude earlier, it did tell us that sometimes if you are not a paid subscriber, Claude may not be available for you. So what I just want to do is head over and just go through the pricing options from Claude. So to do that, you just head up into the top right-hand corner and click on the little round circle. Mine is EE for Evolve EdTech. And here you can see a little box that says subscribe to Pro. So we're going to click on that and it's going to tell us what we will get for subscribing to Pro. So you can see here that Claude Pro is $20 per month, okay? And it will provide you with a couple of additional options, which will make this particular service even better for you. Okay, $20 a month is pretty much on par with ChatGPT. So just have a think about whether or not Claude is going to suit your needs, or you're quite happy using the free versions of Claude, ChatGPT, or Bard to help you with your lesson creation, your resource creation, creating those tips and tricks or anything that you need to assist your students, your colleagues, or your school communities. All right, that brings us to the end of that very short introduction to Claude. But as you can see, Claude is very similar to ChatGPT and Bard. I just wanted to show you an alternative AI assistant that you could use with your lesson preparation in the classroom. It's really nice to have a suite of resources, especially if you go and compare different prompts and the responses that you get from these different AI tools. Obviously, they have different algorithms, they have different AI learning, they have different capacities, which means that sometimes the responses that you get may not be what you are looking for. But if you go and experiment just like we have today with these different tools, you might be able to mash something together from these different assistants that is just what you are looking for. So go and have a look at these tools and see if they are right for you. It is my big motto here. It is something that I have continuously emphasized as part of this series, but go and explore. Go and see if these tools are right for you before you decide whether or not they are something that you could use within your classroom. Well, that is day 10 of the 12 AI tools of Christmas for 2023. Thank you so much for joining me again today. My name is Tristan. Tomorrow is day 11. We've got just 2 episodes left in this series for 2023. We hope you've really enjoyed this episode and we look forward to seeing you again tomorrow. Until then, everybody, stay safe and we'll see you again tomorrow.